Well, good morning. This is Stephen Wynn with the Loving the Coronavirus course. The last day. What a day. Part of the Healing the Heart of America project. Our website is healingtheheartofamerica.org, and all these meditations are on that website, archived, so you can listen to them if you miss any. So, the question just came to my mind right before we started was, what would the response of an enlightened person be to a pandemic, to the coronavirus? And just sit with that for a second. What do you think? How would they respond? How would they react? And then I want you to ask yourself, how did I respond? How did I react? And then check to see if there's any judgment towards yourself about that. If there's any disparaging yourself, oh, I wish I could have reacted differently, but I didn't, and I was afraid or angry or whatever it was, it doesn't matter. They're all just reactions. And just check that. What I want to explore in terms of the coronavirus today is how our picture of enlightenment compares to the reality of it, and how our picture, the story we've made up about enlightenment, blocks us from stepping into that fully and completely. That's just the thought that came to me about 5 minutes before the class started. I was releasing this morning on my frustration that I never seem to know early on what I'm going to be doing in a class. And I was like, why does my guidance have to come at the last minute? And of course, the fun part of that kind of releasing is you realize, wow, how grateful can I be that guidance comes at all? And who am I to try and set the timing of that? Just trust and move forward. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. And then 5 minutes before this started this morning, that thought came to me. It's a really charming inquiry. So, I'm going to encourage everyone to just notice where you are this morning, what your experience is, just as we always do every morning. And wherever you are, could you just love that? Yep, this is where I am today. Maybe a little tired, didn't sleep well, or didn't get enough sleep. Maybe a little cloggy if you ate heavy foods yesterday. Whatever it is, could you just take it as an opportunity to celebrate how we are alive right now? A full spectrum of experience on this plane. That's why we came here, isn't it? So, with sort of this experience of who we are, how we're feeling inside, a baseline, let's just begin our process of moving into our heart by putting our hands over our heart. Sitting up, feet flat on the floor. We all know there are a number of postures. Just be with your heart. I just feel like talking here. We all know there are a number of classic postures that the various traditions of the world use for meditation. The yogis of India all sit in full lotus. And it's a really nice posture. The earth energy comes in through your spine in that posture. Your feet are not on the ground. So it's a different energetic experience. It has its own value, believe me. We know that. Many of the traditions in Japan meditate while kneeling, sitting on our shins, so to speak. Another very profound posture. In China, they have a lot of moving. The Taoist tradition there has a lot of moving postures. And you see that in Buddhism also. Of course, they'll sit full lotus, they'll sit in a number of positions. But their whole posture, where they're moving one foot in front of the other, and they're doing their Buddhist prayer wheel. Really powerful if you ever have a chance to do it. The weight moves from one foot to the other. Same with the Taoist practices. The yin and the yang get balanced in this manner. Taoist is very grounded. I really root to the ground a lot in Taoism. Deal with earth and water a great deal. And a fair amount of fire. At any rate, just sit with your hands in your heart. Sorry I pulled you out with my chatter. Sit with your hands in your heart. This posture of sitting up in a chair with your feet on the ground really comes out of the Egyptian tradition. The pharaohs would sit this way, and you see the statues. And the pharaoh's spiritual job was to integrate the energies of the earth with the energies of the heaven. That's why he was called the Son of God. Divine, representative of God. That was his job. Of course it gets distorted and changed into the running of the affairs of the country, of the empire. And just check. You start to notice the heartbeat within your heart. And now just let your hands down and notice your experience. Even with all my chatter, what simply putting our attention on our heart does for us. And if it's not my chatter, it's the chatter of the world that tends to pull us out of our hearts. Is it okay with us if we just notice that happens and then just move back into our hearts? And with that, let's begin our process of heart rhythm meditation with my customary note of appreciation to Puran and Susanna Bear of I Am Heart for doing the research that brought this out. It has so radically changed my life. So many people living from the heart. That was her first book, bestseller, Living from the Heart. So we begin this process of heart rhythm meditation by just noticing our breath, our respiratory system. How full we breathe, how clear our nasal passages are, our nostrils are. Inhale longer or shorter than the exhale. How full the breath. How shallow. And let's just appreciate our lungs for a minute. This is perhaps the greatest interface we have with the earth. Bringing in oxygen from the earth and exhaling it. Our skin is another connecting point with our earthly plane, as is our digestion. All great ways we interact with the earth plane. We just thank our lungs for this process. Breathing in, purifying, exhaling, letting the toxins out, bringing the prana in. Now let's begin this process of a full exhale, the full inhale. Full exhale means pulling our abdominal muscles all the way back toward the spine. Then inhale, filling the abdominal cavity, and then perhaps filling up the lungs, the chest. And just begin this process of this full exhale, full inhale. Let's just continue this for a minute or two. again, notice when we flush our system with prana, with life force, what's your experience? What's your experience in terms of energy in your body? The quietness of your mind? Your energy field, does that change at all? Your consciousness. Just to notice, the more we notice, the more they present themselves to us, and the more we become conscious of this part of our existence. Right now we have a conscious awareness of a small part of who we are, the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Would it be okay with us if we start to notice the whole iceberg, every level of our being? Of course, the answer is yes. That's okay. We've been doing that this whole month. So now let's step into the deeper part of our rhythm meditation, where we connect the rhythm of our heartbeat with the rhythm of our breath. Typically, for most people, that's inhale to the count of 8 heartbeats, and then exhale to the count of 8 heartbeats. Could be 6, could be 8 or 10 or 12. Feel your pulse in your wrist if you don't feel your heartbeat yet. Or hold your breath until you feel your heartbeat. If none of those are working, simply count. It's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. And what we're doing here is, as we connect these two rhythms, we connect a third rhythm in our body. Most of us, it takes some time before we experience it. But we have a third pulse, the pumping of the cerebrospinal fluid up through the spine into the brain, and then back down. We wash out all the toxins in the brain by doing this. Continual refreshing of the brain. And of course we connect to the rhythm of the planet, the electromagnetic pulsing of the earth. And just notice what moving into alignment with the rhythm of life does for us. It may not look like this, but as we align with this basic rhythm of life, we are actually aligning to the rhythm of creation. Just keep inhaling in and out to count of 8 heartbeats, or whatever the number is. We're aligning to the rhythm of creation. And you may not realize this, but in doing so, I'm going to use sort of a charged word here. We are actually surrendering. We're surrendering our own rhythm that is usually out of whack and run by our minds and our egos. We're surrendering our own rhythm to align with the universal rhythm. And I say it this way just to allow everyone to experience that surrender can actually be a simple, easy process of alignment. We tend to think of surrender meaning, oh, I'll give up my own desires for the greater good or something like that. Would it be okay with us if we allowed surrender to be as simple as alignment with the One? And could we allow that alignment to be the deep source of fulfillment for the deepest desires of our heart? It's like worrying about asking for perfect wealth and being afraid that the divine won't give me enough money. I did that once. Couldn't surrender. Finally surrendered and the money poured in. It's so simple to surrender because it's just alignment. Almost always it's our ego's desires that we don't want to give up. And yet when we do, we discover the deep, permanent fulfillment that even our ego truly wants. Would it be okay with us if we moved our lives into alignment with this incredible force of evolution? If we moved ourselves into alignment with the divine plan? And just check to see if some resistance comes up with that. Check to see if there's some how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Or is it going to be good enough? Is it going to be what I want? And And just from your heart here, could you welcome that up and just love that? Love that resistance. Love that fear. It's one of our voices within us speaking, calling out, wanting to be heard, wanting to be loved, wanting to be appreciated. Would it be okay with us if we did just that? If we honored that voice? And then, with our attention in our heart, say, yes, I love you. And just let the voice rest, be at peace. It's been heard. So, we've been doing this heart rhythm meditation for enough time here. Let's shift into another practice. Just because it's such a fabulous practice and so basic. Let's go to the square breath here. Which means we inhale. I'll say here, just to be safe, to the count of 6. You could do 8 or 10, whatever's comfortable for you, or more. Inhale to the count of 6. Hold for the count of 12. Twice what we inhale for. And then we're going to exhale to the count of 6. I'm just going to walk everyone through it with that count, but by now most of you have experienced this enough. Just go with your own pace, whatever's right for you. But for anyone who's new, and I should mention that if you have asthma, if you have some breathing challenge, if you have a arrhythmia of your heart, you may just want to do the swinging breath instead. It's actually what we recommend. So, let's inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then back to the inhale. And just continue at your own pace. And remember, no struggling with holding the breath. If you need air, you breathe. This is a culturing of the breath, a culturing of the lung capacity of the breath. It's fabulous for lung health. Just keep this up. The health of your lungs. Just keep on breathing with this pattern. The health of your lungs, measured by your lung capacity, is the single greatest predictor of mortality. In other words, if you have a weak lung capacity, your likelihood of dying from any cause in the next year is much higher. If you have a strong lung capacity, your likelihood of dying from any cause is vastly diminished in the following year. This is a practice that does two things: builds and strengthens the capacity of the lungs, and moves us into the rhythm of life very powerfully. The rhythm is more important than the number of heartbeats. So if you can only do 6, 12, 6, that's what you do. It's perfect. If you can do more, do more. Do 8, 16, 8, 10, 20, 10. But we don't struggle. Let's do 1 or 2 more rounds here. And just finish up your next round. And let's move into the next phase of this meditation. One more time, expanding our energetic body out to the far edges of creation. Now let's start by just inhaling into our heart to the count of 8 heartbeats, whatever your count is. And as we inhale, the air comes in through our nose. And as we inhale the air in, the stream of energy with the breath comes in directly into the heart. We inhale that stream of energy in. We exhale it right out of the heart, out of the front of the heart. Now I'm going to welcome anyone who's comfortable while we're doing this to go to the ether breath, the space breath, the Akashic breath, which means inhaling in and out through both the nose and the mouth simultaneously, gently, easily. You don't have to do this, it's just an option for you. Inhale to the count of 8 heartbeats with the energy coming into our hearts. And then exhaling out. And as we inhale this time, we want to fill up our hearts with energy. And as we fill up, allow our energetic body to begin to expand outside of ourselves. Inhale to the count of 8 heartbeats. And exhale. Allow your energetic body to expand out. Inhale. Fill up with energy in your heart to let your energetic body expand out. And then exhale, leaving it expanded. However far you can feel it, it's perfect. It's okay to let your imagination lead the way. You'll begin to notice it very quickly. Inhale, allow energy to fill up your energetic body. Expand it out to fill your room. And just keep it out there. Our energetic body is already infinitely expanded. All we're doing is noticing what's there. Inhale into your heart to the count of 8 heartbeats. Fill up with energy and let your energetic body expand out to fill up your community or your state. Many of you will lead with your awareness, and that's okay. Keep breathing and expanding out. Particularly if you've done a lot of consciousness-based meditations, it's easier to lead with your awareness. But what's most important here is the energetic body expand. They're two different things. And by now you're getting clear enough to distinguish between the two of them. Whenever it happens, it's fine. One is very silent. One has energy. Pretty basic. And inhale and let your energetic body expand to fill up the country that you live in. It's a great blessing to the communities and the countries when we do this. It's an enlivening of the basic fundamental energies of life. Everyone feels it on a subtle level. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, let's allow our energetic body to expand and experience the sun, the moon, the planets, the asteroid belt. Could you allow yourself to become that sun? Notice in your solar plexus is a part of that sun. Solar. And just allow ourselves to merge energetically into the vastness of that fantastic energy of the sun. And feel the coolness of the moon. Allow that moon presence. We step into the moon and energetically allow ourselves to become the moon. would it be okay with us to honor and acknowledge, as we're visiting these vast celestial bodies, the earth, the sun, the moon, to just honor the divine intelligence in charge of these bodies? And could we honor Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Uranus, Pluto, Mercury, loving the absolute influence of these great beings, these great presences within us? Is it all right with us if we become aware of the influence of all these great concentrated focuses of intelligence? That's what they are. The Earth, Gaia, Mother Divine. That's the Earth. The Sun, Ra, Ram. The Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus. All these great intelligences. Could we allow them to be part of our energetic body? And we just say yes, because they are. And now, as we claim that, it becomes just a little bit more real. As we inhale, we fill our hearts up. And exhale, expand that energetic body out to fill the whole Milky Way galaxy. Always staying connected to our heart. And let's just go ahead, breathe in and expand out to fill all the galaxies of creation. All the vast plethora of universes. And can we love and honor the wisdom and intelligence within each one? We just say yes to that. And can we just accept that at the deep level of our energetic being, there on the cusp of the universal heart, our heart is the center point of creation, of our creation. True for each one of us. Could you grant that same rich possibility to every other heart in this call, in this creation? And at that very, very deep, deep level of our hearts, could we allow our heart to be connected in this vast web of hearts that we call the universal heart, and sink into that? Fully expanded, fully universal, fully cosmic, all the while our heart beating. As we breathe in, we breathe out. Could you allow the rhythm of the universe? Could you allow yourself to surrender to this vast rhythm of the universe? As the universe exhales, we inhale. We're filled up. As we exhale, the universe fills up. Would it be okay with us if we are in complete alignment with this vast universal presence? If we allow ourselves to completely surrender to this vastness, surrender with joy and peace, and just check to see what's coming up for you right now. If it's a wonderful experience of expansion, could you let that go and let it get even better? If some resistance is coming up, like, oh, I'm not sure I'm feeling this, could you just welcome that up and love and honor what your experience is, whatever it is, and just let go any resistance. Just hear it. It wants to be heard. There's no point in shutting it down. Any resistance we just love. And come back to this surrendering into alignment with the One. Whatever you're experiencing, could you let it go and let it get even better? And better. And better. And just notice your experience now. Notice the texture of your energetic field, the texture of your awareness. At this moment, just for this moment, could you allow yourself to say yes to oneness? Is it okay with you to be one with all of creation? And if resistance comes up, I don't know how to do that. That'd be nice, but it's okay. Could you welcome up that resistance? Utterly love it. It's so great to have so many voices within us. And just let it go. Our job is to hear it and love it. And again, which would you rather do right now? Would you rather be separate from creation? Or would you rather be one with creation? Could you just say yes to being one with creation? And could you make that decision again to be one with creation? And is it okay with you if this decision shows up differently for you than it does for other people? That your own enlightenment is unique and personal to you. Would that be okay? It feels like yes for most people for that. That's how it's going to be. Could we let go of the idea that enlightenment means we have to look like Maharishi, Amaji, Lester Levinson, Veera Vilayat Khan, Hazrat Inayat Khan. However it looks for them, could we be happy for them, grateful for them? And is it all right for us to step into a life of complete alignment and recognize that is enlightenment? Would it be okay for us to step into a life as an enlightened middle school teacher, an enlightened mechanic, an enlightened scientist, businessman, artist, mother, sister, an enlightened nurse or doctor? Could we allow this enlightenment thing that we have shifted into in our minds, this great extraordinary experience, and allow it to simply be the process of living in alignment with the One, in our own place, in our own home, in our own family, in our own workplace? And let's just say yes, that sounds okay, as we set that intention. Come back to your heartbeat if you've lost it. Back to breathing through your nose if you've been doing the ether breath. Perhaps feel your pulse in your feet. And could we all just take a moment to silently appreciate everyone in this class? It's by virtue of having a group meditating together that we go deeper and deeper than we ever do meditating alone. Most of the time on these meditations we have 40 to 50 people. It's a big enough group to have a huge impact. Could you just internally send love and approval to everyone on this call? Do it because it feels good for you. It's good for the other person. Every time we bless anyone, and sending love and approval is definitely a blessing, we are blessed in the process. So let's just take a minute in this meditation and slowly open our eyes when it's comfortable. I've opened up the Q&A. Not that anyone has to be in a rush to get in onto it. We'll take a few minutes here. Still coming out, but you could hit *6 if you have a gain to share. Honestly, we can just say hello if we want to. And or a question you have, or some issue that's been stirred up. It, for me, was a very, very deep meditation. So who knows what gets stirred up in that. Okay, area code 609. Good morning, 609.
Hi, Stephen. It's Patsy. How are you?
Oh, my goodness, Patsy. Very nice to hear from you.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump out real quick. I just wanted to say I had a couple questions before we started this morning. You answered everything. It was just such a gain. I mean, when you went to the sun and the moon and it's just amazing. And I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate all that you've done. I am just so filled with love. And for this virus, Stephen, I can say I love this virus. And I'm in Florida, where we started to open up yesterday, opening our pool in our neighborhood pool.
Nice.
And it's so interesting. Yeah, like I get, we're sitting out in the sunshine and a beautiful breeze, but making sure we're like 6 feet apart so we don't get shut down in case the county checks on us. It's
Sure.
so interesting.
Sure.
But it's without this, what we've done, without your gift, I don't know how I would have felt, because I was frightened when we started this.
Yeah. That's a great
and I don't have
gain.
that fear. It's a beautiful gain, and I just wanted to say thank you, and I'll get out of the way.
Thank you so much, Patsy. It's been a great honor and privilege to have you here with us, really.
I thank you. Thank you, everyone on the call, everyone there.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other gains? Any other questions? Yeah, it's interesting. The way, in my experience, Patsy mentioned. Oh, here we have a person. Good morning. Good morning, Aaron. Aaron?
Hi, Stephen. I heard you yesterday. We talked for a bit yesterday, and again, I just want to thank you and each and every person that's shared and been a part of this. And just my heart is full of gratitude. And
yes, thank you. Thank you for stepping up again. Yeah, we talked yesterday. That's right.
Right.
Is there something that is up for you that you'd like to work with?
Well, yes and no.
That means yes.
I guess it means yes, but I don't want to. I don't know if there's other people that have something to say, but I noticed there were no other people wanting to say something. So
there's nobody in the queue, so this is your time, Aaron.
Okay. Well, yesterday when we were talking, you mentioned, is there any? I don't really exactly remember how it went, but there is somebody in my life who I have an incredible amount of pain over it. My daughter's remarried a woman who I feel very uncomfortable with how she treats my daughter, how she treats me, especially how she treats my granddaughter.
Okay.
And I've been trying for a long time to see the love in her and understand, but I just keep judging how she
Yes.
treats that and worrying for my granddaughter.
Yes. So, all this sort of judging how she treats your daughter and granddaughter, and has all of this changed how she's behaving?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
It doesn't.
Would you be willing to do something differently?
Yes.
Right. So right now you're judging her, you're not liking her, you're disapproving of her. So
right.
Would it be okay? Would it be okay with you if you let go of disapproving of her?
Yes, it would be okay with me.
Good. Could you let go some more of disapproving of her?
Yes, except it feels like I'm just saying that I'm letting go of it, but I don't know if I'm actually letting go of it. Does that make sense?
Totally. And could you ask your mind if it's ever going to know the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I guess it won't.
It won't, will it? So would it be okay with you if you take this as simply giving an instruction to your mind-body organism that says, my choice is to let go of disapproving of her?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is.
Could you make that decision again, to let go of disapproving of her?
Yes, I could.
And could you let go some more of disapproving of her?
Yes.
Yes. And even still more.
Yes.
Yeah, it hasn't worked for you, has it? So could you let go of that disapproval some more?
Yes.
Yes. And is there any disapproval of your daughter for accepting that kind of behavior?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you let go of disapproving of your daughter?
Yes.
Because that didn't solve it either, did it?
No.
No. Could you let go some more of disapproving of your daughter?
Yes.
And more still?
Yes.
And is there any more disapproval of your daughter there that you could let go of?
Yes.
Yeah. And are you disapproving of yourself here at all?
Oh, incredibly.
Yeah. Could you let go of disapproving of yourself?
Yes.
And could you let go of some more of disapproving of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, it hasn't done much for you either, has it?
No.
No. Could you let go some more of disapproving of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. And since disapproving hasn't worked, would it be okay with you if you instead gave some approval to your daughter-in-law?
Yes.
And even more love and approval.
Yes.
And more love and approval.
Yes.
And just on the level of discrimination, can you see when she's acting harshly, it's out of her own pain?
I can see that in my mind.
That's
I
okay.
can see that, but
yeah, that's just the discrimination. That's just where you see it, is in your mind.
Right.
You just get that context, and it softens this situation. You know, she's hurting.
Right. I know she is.
Yeah. Could you give her some more love and approval?
Yes.
And could you give her some more love and approval?
Yes.
And more love and approval?
Yes.
And could you give your daughter some love and approval?
Yes.
And more love and approval.
Yes.
And could you give yourself some love and approval?
Yes.
And more love and approval.
Yes.
And more love and approval.
Yes.
And do you notice that when you let go of being negative and disapproving, and you move into being positive and giving love and approval, you start to feel quieter, lighter, easier?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Would it be okay with you if that became a 24/7 living reality for you, to live in this lightness, quietness, easiness?
Yes, it would.
It would, sure it would. And looking at the dynamics between your daughter and her wife and yourself, you're part of this here, is it more likely to be solved by judgment and disapproval, or by giving love and approval?
Definitely by love and approval.
Good. So would it be okay with you if every time you find yourself judging your daughter-in-law or your daughter or yourself, you just let go of the disapproval, the judgment, and give them love and approval? Would that be okay?
It would.
Yeah. So the great opportunity here is for you to see that they are there to teach you and give you signals for when you are out of your heart. Okay?
Yeah.
And every time it comes up, just realize, they're showing me this again. I can let go of that disapproving. I can move into my heart and love them. So if you have to do that 10 times before it changes, would that be okay?
Yes, it would be okay.
How about 100 times? Would that be okay?
I guess so. As long as it takes. That's what I'm here for, I guess.
Yeah. And how many times have you disapproved of them?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Maybe
I can't
1,000.
even fathom how many.
So even if it goes out to 1,000 times, you just keep doing it, you keep doing it. Because every time you feel lighter and quieter. You see that?
Yeah.
So that's your great opportunity here.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for you, Erin. Sounds like a
Thank you.
very great deal of work you just did here, and a great possibility for you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Could we all allow that to be that simple? So whoever's bothering us in our life, let go of judging them, let go of disapproving them, and just give them love and approval, and just see how it changes. It's really quite remarkable. Okay. Any other comments, questions? It's 10:27 here in Iowa. I'll just say from my side how utterly grateful I am for everyone having been with me this whole time. Just utterly grateful. I always say this, but it's so true. I go so much deeper when I'm leading a meditation than I ever do when I'm just meditating on my own. And that's from your influence. And, we set up collectively an opportunity for the divine energy to flow through us. That's what happens. I do it consciously before every meditation. I invoke all these beings, and I'm sure many of you do the same. And it creates a very powerful impact for our whole group. And who knows where this spreads. What I've seen in the world is someone starts an idea, brings it up, and then it just slowly slowly sifts into the world consciousness. This whole idea of digging deeply into our dark stuff, our shadow self, as many people call it, doing the shadow work. 15, 20 years ago, barely existed. And through, really, Lester Levinson was a main force on that. Sedona method, the release technique. Certainly, the groups that work from the heart are there also. They added in this picture of enhancing our lives by embracing everything and holding and allowing to be there. We live in our heart and every feeling comes up and it's okay. Our life is richer. The heart joins everything. The heart joins everything. That's the nature of the heart. It includes everything. And I can tell you in this class what big breakthrough came from me was recognizing the power of looking at things from the depth of our heart. It's a theme I will build and develop, a technique, a process. So to throw out some possible avenues of future development where you can go from here, of course, connect with friends, do this work together, that really helps. A couple of the organizations that are set up, and all of them have things you can do that are free or virtually free. The I Am Heart organization has these free Energize Your Heart meditations going on. Check IamHeart.org for it. I don't quite know where to tell you where to sign up for it. But they have classes that are very reasonably priced. Like there's a $79 workshop this weekend for 2-hour blocks. Again, go to IamHeart.org. And it's sort of spaced throughout the weekend so you're not sitting too long at your telephone or your computer. They'll all be on Zoom. And they just have, they have, if you really capture the vision of the heart, they have a profound 2-year program called I Am You. And that just goes through everything. It goes into the big process of sound work, the invoking through sound, which when done from the heart is just extraordinary. I don't never feel quite like it's appropriate for me to go into that work here. So you can go into it there. It's a 2-year program. The Release Technique is a fabulous organization. ReleaseTechnique.com, I think. It is just amazing what they offer and they teach. They have a Wednesday night course. I'm sure if you tell them you've got experience releasing, you've gone through the tapes or something like that, to the Abundance course. It's free every Wednesday night. In Fairfield, of course, there's a lot of releasing opportunities. A fellow named, connect with Hal Goldstein, or just connect with me. If you request it from me, I'll put you on that list. There's another fellow named Ralph Zidlin that worked personally with Lester for many years. I think he's probably 80 years old. He has a free phone call once a week, or you can just call him up. And he loves to work with people. He's 80 years old. This is his life. And the Release Technique has online workshops, very powerful courses in abundance. They do like real immersion courses, like 30 days of financial freedom, 90 days to freedom. I forget all the titles. They're pricey, but they're really powerful. So, and eventually they'll get back to having live retreats. I'll probably do another course in September or October. It's the pattern I seem to be on. One in the spring, one in the fall. And of course, I'd love to have you come back for that. So, The thing is, it's really big is momentum. I do this as a burst because we all get momentum we build. If you do just a little bit, you just get a little bit of a result. And that's okay. But it's still there. All right, someone else has stepped into our Q&A. Area code 641. Oops,
Hi, Stephen. It's Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm great. I wanted to share a huge gain.
Okay.
So, I guess yesterday, of course, the whole course is building. I've participated most days for the last month. And, the thing that you shared with Aaron today, and then you had shared it previously, I can't remember if it was with me or somebody else, is just, could we just look at the people who are pushing our buttons as it's pushing the button to make you notice that you're not in your heart.
Yes.
And so I've been more self-referral throughout this course that's been building, noticing if I vent on someone or say something quote-unquote inappropriate, it's like, okay, where is that coming from? And doing the shadow work, doing the work within myself. So the win is that yesterday, after we worked, after the class, I did more in-depth work with myself. And I noticed when my partner came home from work, one of the intentions I had had in my prayers had been to be more compassionate towards that person and less judgmental. Like, why am I being reactive with that person? What is it in me that person is reflecting? And so I was so joyful and lighthearted and able to connect. And it was so easy and effortless. I was just present. And I'm just really continuing to be grateful and very joyful for that. I'm just so thrilled and happy.
Nice.
So thank you. Thank you for all the gifts. And thank you to everybody in the course. It's been amazing to work with everybody while you're working with them.
Fantastic gain, Jessica. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm going to hit your partner up for some money. I am not, of course.
That's so hilarious. Nobody else knows that you're good friends with my partner, so that's very funny. Inside joke.
All right, thank you so much, Jessica. That's really great.
You're welcome, Stephen. Take care. Love you. Bless you. I look forward to the next Healing the Heart of America course, whatever the focus is. I'll be there.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So I think we'll just end this course on that wonderful gain. And I'm going to end the Q&A.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
I love all of you. I love you, Stephen. Thank you.